Hello guys, I hope you guys are all well. Today I'm bringing you the Mercury Retrograde, which is happening in May the 10th to June the 2nd. And it's going into the signs of Gemini and Taurus. What a time it's going to be. First it retrogrades in Gemini, then it goes into Taurus. Now, Mercury is in its home sign of Gemini. And, we're it's like the shadow period, then it goes into, we're in the middle of the shadow period actually, then it goes into the retrograde, and it's going to be there for like nearly 3 weeks. So, with it being in its home sign, the themes of communication, whether it's writing, speaking, talking, the media, business, contracts, short distance travel, how we communicate with people that are like our neighbors and also our siblings. And with it being in Taurus, which is about, agriculture, the food we eat, fashion, style, and money, resources, not shared resources, but the money that you earn. This is about your self-worth. So these are all the themes that are going to be coming up, especially when it goes retrograde. So there's going to be a lot of this going to be high alert. The cards that we have for this is the Lovers, which is Gemini, and the Magician, which is Mercury, and also the Hierophant, which is Taurus. So the Lovers card messages, it's about, perfect union, it's about partnerships, relationships, sexual desires, also about our shared values. And now we are, with this Mercury retrograde, the Lovers card is, one of the main messages is we're going to be trying to find balance in how we communicate. And obviously this is about choices that a lot of us are going to be having to make when this comes back, because when Mercury does go back, all of these themes are going to be coming up in terms of, communication, people come back into our lives, things that we have to really revise. And also in terms of like relationships as well, there can be people coming back into our lives. It's mostly to ask us, have we learned a lesson, or have we, it's like a karmatic time in revising what went wrong or what went right. During this time we can see people coming back, whether it's, friends from the past, lovers from the past, even old jobs, but even contracts as well. So the Lovers card is about choices that we're going to have to make. It's also about people, union as well. It's definitely about a union, partnerships as well. And again, this is to do with like our finances as well. But it is, the Lovers card, when it comes up, it is really good for finances. But because it's retrograde, this is going to be us looking at our finances in a very different way. Same with the Magician card, which is about like our higher mind. It's about logic, intellect, concentration. So bearing in mind, we are going to have to be very mindful of what we say, what we type. We're also going to have to be really mindful of what we're thinking about, because the Magician card is a card of the higher mind. And it's a case of what you put your mind to, it can manifest. It is a powerful card. It's, it's a time that, a lot of us are going to be revising. So when it is retrograde, the mind does tend to go back. It can think positive, but it can also think negative as well. So it is actually, these cards are actually really nice, especially with the Magician card. It's also showing us that things are going to be changing as well. We're going to be changing the way we think. We're going to be changing about in all themes of our life. This card is about to do concentration, and it can be very hard for us to really concentrate for the next 3 weeks. This is about willpower, how strong our mind is going to be. This card, I feel, is definitely to do with the manifestation, not only of the higher mind, but what you put out, you're going to get back, but also what you manifest as well. And in terms of that, you know, because Gemini is about writing. So whenever this card comes up, it's really good to be writing down your thoughts, whether it's journaling, whatever comes up as well, whoever's come back into your life or whatever's come back into your life. That's what the Magician card is asking. And even at opportunities that present themselves, be mindful of it, because this card again is a Mercury card, and things can actually go, when it comes up, things actually can just whiz around very quickly, and we may not see the underneath of what's going on. We're seeing the actual outsides. This card is also about how we're communicating, and all of these, you know, yes, definitely about how we're communicating, but in a huge sense, it's a manifestation time. It's a powerful time during this Mercury retrograde, and this card is of the powerful of the mind, the powerful of our actions, and the powerful of our thoughts. I love when the Lovers cards, I love when, especially like, I love the Lovers, but I love when the Magician card comes up, because you're now going to be seeing that things, especially if you put your mind to anything, especially if you had good intentions, things can manifest in a great way if you're being honest. The other card we have for this is the Hierophant card. And the Hierophant card is about traditions. It's a very traditional card. We actually came from this card last year, but anyway, traditional cards about beliefs, it's about knowledge as well. It's also to do with institutions, but it is a Taurus card, and it's also about values that are not going to be like new values. It's about like traditional values. So with this Hierophant, message of the Hierophant cards is showing that it's going to be very much a serious time during this, especially when Mercury goes into Taurus, retrograde into Taurus. There's going to be themes of all the Taurian things which I just spoke about. But it's also going to be, with the Hierophant card, about themes in how we are viewing ourselves in a traditional sense when it comes to like our money, with our resources. This is also about how we're navigating our way and being stuck within ourselves. Because when the Hierophant card is upside down, it's like we're throwing away the traditional and we're trying to do something better. So even though I wouldn't even say that this card is upright or reversed, I feel it's actually more reversed, in this sense that we are going to be a bit more trying to be a bit more unconventional, and instead of conforming to an ideal that we are used to, that we are stuck in, that we feel comfortable in, it's time to change. And, you know, we're seeing everything what's happening within the world of when it comes to like money, recession, and, you know, we're sort of like more or less going back into the 80s, guys. That's how it feels. But in terms of like a structured lifestyle, this card is about, that's going to be overthrown. It also feels like Uranus is involved, even though it's not. And with this card being reversed, with the Mercury retrograde, it feels very like Uranian, like we're going to throw out the standard traditional and we're going to go for something very alternative. We're going to be thinking alternative as well. And we're going to be seeing how, when we grow in our food, how we dress, how we are beautifying ourselves in terms of self-care, how when it comes to, you know, agriculture, how we are viewing money, if we are hoarding. Because when Mercury's retrograde, especially this card, is about hoard. It's about sticking to what we know. It's about my way or the highway. So there's going to be like a huge reverse as well. And during this time, when it's in Gemini and Taurus, we're going to be seeing lots of themes changing. And it's not going to be the greatest for a lot of us. We are going to feel very uncomfortable. Some of us may actually navigate it in a different way and think, you know what, I can actually deal with this. I can run with this. But some of us maybe still be stuck in this old way. And it's not to say that the old way is bad. It's just that this is what we're used to. This is how we're programmed. So there's going to be a huge change, and it's going to be, and also Taurus does rule, like I said, what we eat as well. So this is a time of thinking about how you're treating your body, how you are treating yourself. This is about self-care. Are you doing enough? Because when it goes retrograde into Taurus, it's like, are you doing enough to like relax? Are you doing enough? Are you eating healthier? Are you, grounding yourself as well? And when it's in Gemini, it's like, are you actually, when you're starting a project, are you finishing it, or are you just going from one thing after the other? Because we're going to be going all the way back during this retrograde. Especially when it's, when this retrograde does happen on the 10th, the card of the 10th is the Wheel of Fortune, and that's going to be changes that's going to be happening. Lots of changes that's going to be happening for a lot of us. And the Wheel of Fortune is about, good or bad, but it's also showing us that there's going to be many changes that happen because it's supposed to happen. It's a shift in the perspective. It's also a shift in our conscious. This is a Sagittarius card. So with Sagittarius card is the card of, newness. It's about karma. This card is about, good luck. It's also about destiny. And there's going to be a lot of things that's going to feel very fated during this Wheel of Fortune. Some of it can, again, feel uncomfortable. It may feel like we're having like this strange upheaval happening on the 10th. And it may not be on the exact same day. We may just start feeling these things. It's like the universe is talking to us and saying to us, okay, this is what's happening and this is what's going to be changing. And it's about processing what happens. And also it's about looking within, because this is a karmatic card. So when these changes does happen, when the Wheel of Fortune is turning, when the changes do happen, it is about processing, but it's also showing us that how we're treating people, how we're treating ourselves, or how we're treating situations, things can turn at any moment. So if anything feels it's set in stone, it's actually not. Whenever the Wheel of Fortune does come up, guys, it is a time to not just look within, but it's showing us that things are always going to be a cycle. And it's funny that it's happening on the 10th, because the 10 is about beginnings. It's also about endings that's happening. A brand new beginning, but also a brand new ending as well. So like I said, this is a very especially with the cards, it does feel very karmatic. So what's supposed to happen is supposed to happen, and what is not supposed to happen, again, will happen. So very karmatic time, especially with these cards messages, guys. So when it comes to like the signs, it's with the water signs, it's going to be like with Pisces, it's in the 4th. Pisces is in the 4th, Cancer is in the 12th, and Scorpio is in its home sign of, the 8th house. And these are the themes that you guys are going to be looking at, is to do with the emotional self, the home, the spirituality, the letting go, but also the transformation. The themes are going to be about finances. The themes are going to be looking at your finances in a different way. The themes are going to be to do with, like, you water signs. I feel a lot of you may feel at home. There's going to be some structures that are going to have to be doing with when it comes to your home. Pisces can find that they're going to be seeing that there's things that need to be mended in the home. They might be some of you may decide to move. There might be contracts to be signed as well. And also when it goes into Taurus, this is to do with your groups, or but your friend. There could be friends coming back for a lot of you Pisces. There could be, rehashed arguments that needs to be sorted out. There could be a change within your environment where you live. Be mindful of how you're driving, because there could be some craziness that happens as well. Be mindful of electricity. Okay. But also, there's going to be lots of changes within your home as well. There might be, some of you might decide to like really redecorate your home, which is actually really good now. But also there might be things that need to be fixed as well. And also there might be themes from the past coming up about when you were younger, you know, things to do with your mother as well. A lot of you can find out some information about your past in some way. For Cancers, this is about you guys. This is your 12th, and it's also this is your second. So, sorry, this is your 12th, and also this is your 11th house. So some of you maybe decide to let go of a friendship, a friend group as well. There may be a lot of like drama and arguments that you guys may not want to handle anymore. It's time to really let it go. This is great for you guys to be looking at a type of spiritual practice that can help you, that can really ground you as well. Especially again, there could be, I feel that with a lot of like a bit like Pisces. Pisces could also have friends, but also can have like people from like family members that can come up, brothers and sisters that you didn't know about. With Cancer, it's like friends are going to come back from the past. There could be an element of friends coming back. They could stay in your life, or they could just leave your life. But you know, this is an emotional time, so you guys may need to like release some type of old karma related to friends and groups. So the 12th house can actually help you with that. And some of you may be seeking, you know, therapy as well, because because Cancers, when it comes to letting go, it can be really emotional for you guys. And also this is a great time for you Cancers to be revising your, you know, especially when it goes to Taurus, revising your old, well, some of you going back to a group, or some of you may decide to revive a project that you guys have always loved to do. This is a great time to be doing it. A skill, it could be to do something to do with technology. Some of you could decide to go back to a, do that humanitarianism work, but this is about your ambitions as well. For Scorpio, this is to do with like your 8th and 7th house. So you guys, this is a great time for you guys to really, you know, this is about your joint finances. This is your house. So this is about looking at old contracts, looking up old, you know, things to do with like your relationship as well. You know, finding balance within your relationship. If there's any drama, stress or strife, it's about looking at it in a different way, and also trying to transforming your finances as well. Looking over old bills, any debts that you guys may need to release, any debts that you guys may need to work on as well. Some of you may even gain through a partnership. You may even gain money through a partnership, or even from the government as well. There could be some debts that come up as well, but also some of you could actually gain money that's owed to you, which is always really good, Scorpios. Always really good. And what else? Yes, I see that happening. But also this is about your partnerships as well. So there can be old contracts that come up for you to sign. Really look at it. Really look at the small print as well. But in terms of like, this is a time I feel a lot of you Scorpios will need to transform your partnerships in some way. For the fire signs, for Aries, this is in your 2nd house. For Sagittarius, this is in your 6th house. And for Leo, this is in your 10th house. So for Aries, this is about, the 2nd house is about your money. Okay, this is a Taurus house. So this is about looking at your self-worth in some, you know, shape or form. You know, there's going to be obviously themes that are going to be coming up. This is about you. Some of you Aries are going to be looking at like, you know, going over your bills, but also going over like your bank statement. Some of you may decide to like, you know, change banks in some way and start saving, really saving as well. Especially when it goes into like Taurus as well. And you know, this is about, there's a lot of like communication happening for a lot of you Aries. Again, I feel that, you know, things from like your neighborhood could be coming up, like old friends definitely could be coming up for a lot of you. Friends from the past. There can be some drama that could be happening. Drama, I don't feel a lot of you Aries are not going to be shying away from that, but this is the time to like sort of like heal, regroup as well. and see if you're being stubborn or stuck in any way. Some of you may decide that you want to move. So this is about really looking at contracts and, you know, just taking your time. Don't rush into anything as well. For Sagittarius, this is in your 6th house, and also this is with your relationships as well. So you guys are like really looking and restructuring type of routine that you guys need. You know, really looking at being honest and really looking at how you're treating your body. If it's, you know, if your schedule is hindering your health in any way, it's about really looking at it. You know, some of you may decide to change doctors, do some holistic practices as well. And, you know, your relationship's also going to come to the fore with this, because you're going to really feel this, and also all the mutable sign, but you're going to really feel this. So your relationships are going to be restructured in some ways, about talking, communicating, ironing out any craziness that's happening. Some of you may just, you know, really like reschedule like a date night, you know, like let's have a date night. Let me just like reschedule it. Let me just, some of you may decide that you want to, you know, leave a job because it might be hindering not just your health in some way, but your relationship in some way. This is great to be going over old ground. This is great to be going over contracts. This is great to be, you know, working out in a new work, having like a new workout regime, something very different, Sagittarius. For you Leos, this is in your 10th house and your 11th. So this is great for you Leos to be like looking for a new job. You could, I feel that some of you might even hear some drama about bosses in some way. You know, if there might be a promotion that you are up for, it might be, you might have to wait. That's why some of you might feel quite impatient as well. But you can actually hear, you know, like your group or association could actually help you with this as well. They can actually say, oh, I know someone who knows someone who knows someone. Again, looking back at your, you know, when it goes into like, when it's in Gemini, this is about your, you know, your groups and organizations. So there may be some back and forth, you going back to an old group or organization that, you know, for you to just gain more knowledge, for you to learn, for you to be around different people, especially creative people. And this can change your career in some way. Some of you may decide that, you know, because the 10th house is the highest house. This is a house of fame. So if you are going to go back to a group, you may be the leader. You may appoint yourself as a leader, which people may not mind, because you want it to go differently. But again, friends can come back as well. There could be old friends that come back. Old, you know, jobs that, not job, old, you know, creativity that you've always loved to do. You can just revive it, dust off that paperwork and just start painting or writing, or even doing that blog as well. So I feel some of you Leos might decide you want to do a blog, or you might decide that you want to work with your, in a group to like restructure something, structure something for the better. So the card that you guys have got is personal growth. Okay, personal growth. So there's a lot of themes that's connecting to like personal relationships, but also your career and you lots of money. So this is about you guys looking at personal growth in a different way, restructuring it in a different way, but also looking at what you love. There's something that you love to do. It may not be the time to actually just go back and do it, but just like think about it, even write it out. This is great for manifestation for you fire signs. This is a very positive time for a lot of you, because there's going to be lots of changes personally and professionally, and also with your finances. So I feel that you guys will have a lot of ideas of how you want things to be. So this is great to be really thinking about it, because personal growth is about your personal, your personal beliefs, but also things that you really love to do. And it's also going to be helping you guys grow as well. So personal growth is for you fire signs. With the earth signs of Taurus, you know, this is in your this is in your first house. Obviously it's going to go retrograde in your first, but also it's in your second house. Okay, second and first. And again, it's from that, like from the card of personal growth for a lot of you. But yes, when it's in your second house, this is your money house. This is your sign. This is your house. So you guys are going to be changing a lot. You guys are going to be, you know, it can be a bit more, you guys can be a bit more mouthy. Definitely more mouthy. I feel you guys are going to be guided to like change up what you're eating, change up how you're dressing as well. It could be definitely you thinking of changing your job. I feel a lot of opportunities can actually present itself, but still, because it's retrograde, things might just be a little bit slow at the moment. So you guys will probably be doing like the groundwork in order for changes. So i.e. looking for a job, seeing who's in your circle, but, you know, gaining benefits for yourself as well. You guys could definitely be changing a lot. Again, like I said, you guys will be changing at what you eat. So you guys might get a bit more healthier, looking at how you're treating your body, looking at your finances as well, going over any paperwork, you know, savings, bonds, stocks. You guys may decide that you want to buy more during this time, or even feel, because there could be a fear that you guys need to buy more, stocking up. So it's about looking at that as well. For Virgos, this is in your 10th house of career, yeah, and your 9th house. So there's a change coming, Virgos, a huge change coming when it comes to like it's like you Virgos are going into work and you're looking at it very differently now. Like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. You know, some of you may feel that you're being bogged down with too much responsibilities. There might be too much gossip at work, and it's just making you not really like it anymore. Your bosses could be just on you. You guys may want that, you know, there might be a promotion that comes up, but you guys may feel, maybe it's not really for me, that type of thing. But also, you know, your career, there's going to be a career change for a lot of you Virgos. And I feel that you guys are going to be pushing for that change, even if you are, you know, because your boss might say, oh, you know, I'm going to give you that promotion, but you're good. Why are you leaving? And you might decide, no, I've just changed. Things have changed now. This is great for a lot of you to like really change something within your career. This is great for you guys to be going back to learning, higher learning. Some of you might decide you want to teach, might be or seeking out a mentor, or people might be seeking you out as a mentor. And also, this is great for be learning new language. If I feel that if you guys are going to do anything differently, it might be to do with the law, might be to do something with writing or publishing as well, which actually creates a new career change for a lot of you. And this is actually really great for a lot of you Virgos to really, you know, take it. Obviously, this is a time of like, there could be a rush because you're actually ruled by Mercury as well. So, you know, you're going to be feeling this, you know, all the mutables, you're going to be feeling this as well. So you might do things on a whim, but you may have to just, you know, just hold it down, just take your time, but know that these changes are coming, Virgos. And once it goes direct, I feel that you guys are going to be going, bam, let's just do this. For Capricorns, this is in your 6th house, health house, yeah, health house, and also in your 5th house. So you Capricorns, a great time to be really looking at like your work, you know, because 6th house is about your work and restructuring. You guys, this is a theme of like not wanting to work too hard to build your finances because it might be stressing you out a lot. The 6th house is to do with the mental health. It's a Virgo house. So something really may have to give during this Mercury retrograde, and you might be running a lot on empty. So if you are drinking coffee to get energy, you might be it's time to look at that. And this is a time to change up or restart a workout regime. If it's slacked in any way, take it slow, you know, but this is great for a lot of you Capricorns to do some mental work, like mental simulation work with meditation, really taking care of your body, really taking care of your health, incorporating exercise, incorporating healthy eating. And with it Mercury being with Taurus in your fifth as well, some of you may decide that you want to be healthier because you might be preparing for, you know, a baby. It could be revising of that. They're talking with your partner about, you know, I want, you know, let's try for this, and it's time for me to be healthy. So you guys may be quite strict and cutting out all the bad habits as well. A bit like Cancer, because Cancer's got the 12th house. But yeah, you guys may decide, you know, you want to be healthy, but you also want to be healthier because you have a creative project that you're going back to. So you need a cleaner mind, you need a clearer mind, and you also want to look good. You want to, like, especially summer's coming, I want to actually look good, so I'm going to be much more healthier. So it's about looking at it in a different way, not, you know, being strict, but not cut. It's like, you know, when you're going to be healthy, it's not like being strict, cutting everything out so you're craving it. It's just moderation. So this is going to be a moderate time. But it's really great when it concerning kids, babies. It's really good. It's really good for, you know, your health, but it's also really good for creativity, especially if you're going back to it. So the card you lot got is a new beginnings. New beginnings are for you earth signs in a very big way, especially it's concerning like family, you know, creativity, your finances, your studies, you know, your higher learning, your belief system. There's a fresh new start coming for a lot of you, and there's no time like the present. And I feel some of you may actually get some shocks as well, not in a dread way, but it's just like, it's like a bolt that's going to be hitting you guys like a lightning. Yeah, the big bolt that's coming through like a lightning. So with the number one, it's a number one beginning, new beginnings card. So if you guys, it's great for you guys to be think of a new beginning because it will start to manifest in a big way. This card is actually the Magician card. So whatever you put your mind to, earth signs, you can do it, okay? And it's funny because health is coming up for a lot of you, especially Capricorns and Taurus. What you're eating and you're working out, health is coming up big for you guys. And obviously, especially if you guys, the energy is lagging in any way, big times are coming for you. So yeah, new beginnings for you earth signs. And last but not least, we have the air signs. So we have Gemini, of course. This is in your 1st and your 12th. So this is going to be showing you there's things that you're going to have to release. You know, there's things that you're going to be looking over. Relationships, business, personal, but also yourself, your job as well. And with the 12th house being activated when it goes retrograde into Taurus, this is going to be a huge release time. This is about listening to your intuition, Gemini. Your intuition is going to be quite strong. Know that your sleep might be a little bit interrupted because you may have a lot on your mind. It feels like an energy of go, but it's a time of slowing down as well. Your dreams, listen to your dreams. Your dreams can give you very much important messages. And also any like bad habits that you guys have, this is a time to release them. Even how your mind is, like your mind, your ways of thinking, it's a time to release any negativity that may come up during this I was gonna say lunar eclipse, no, during this Mercury retrograde as well. Yeah, big time for a lot of you Geminis because it's in your sign. And you know, you guys, I feel, are going to be very busy, but also you guys are going to also be, you know, your energy could very much be very up and down, like mentally very up and down. You guys may need to want to sleep more, rest more as well. You know, yes, it's really great to be doing a spiritual practice for a lot of you Gemini. It's really great because the mind is going to be on high wire. So doing like a spiritual practice, doing something to, you know, especially if you're finding it hard to go sleep, this is great to be drinking like lavender tea and what's the word? Yeah, drinking like lavender tea. Also meditation. This is great for a lot of you to be reading as well before you go to sleep as well, just to help stimulate your mind. This will help ground you as well. For Libra, this is in your 8th and 9th house. Okay, with Taurus, Gemini and Taurus. So this is going to be transforming and restructuring like your belief system in a big way. And this is great for you guys to be relearning something higher to do with the law. Some of you guys may decide you want to be a judge or be a barrister, or just, you know, just learn a lot about different things, different cultures, surrounding yourself with like different people, learning from different people as well. It could be young or old. This is great to be, you know, going back to college or even studying, you know, learning a new language. You just never know what you can get. And also this will definitely transform you, Librans, because this may transform your finances. Again, I feel some of you may actually gain more money from your partner, or, you know, from the government in some way, or even in inheritance. But even if that does happen, there may be some paperwork that needs to be sorted out. So you may have to go over paperwork, going to like a lawyer or a barrister. But again, this will definitely transform you. And also this is great to be working with any type of fears that you guys have. So your mindset's going to be changing. Like, I used to push my fears down, but now I'm changing. I'm feeling different. I'm surrounded by certain people. They're giving me like these spiritual books. I'm getting a bit more spiritual. You know, this is great for like occult work. This is great for to be really learning about yourself now, Librans, in a spiritual but in an emotional way. And if there's any, like, again, there can be a mentor that comes back, but also there can be an ex-lover that comes back, someone that you had a deep, intense relationship with in the past. They can come back, and this will really transform you, especially if you're one of those Librans that used to really hide their emotions, but now like the ex-partner comes back, or, you know, someone that you had an intense feelings for comes back, and you guys start talking. You can start changing the way you are in a relationship because of that conversation that you've had, because of that releasing, karmatic releasing that you've had. And also, again, your beliefs are going to be changing about things as well because of the people you're surrounding yourself with. Then we have Aquarius. This is in your 5th house. Lovely house, with Gemini being your 5th house, and also in your 4th. So there's a lot of like next door going on, I've noticed. But yeah, because it's in Gemini and Taurus. So with it being in your 4th, you guys may decide to you guys may be thinking, I want to do something really avant-garde in my home. I want to change home. I want to move. You guys may want to do it on a whim. You know, just be mindful of that, you know. But yeah, again, you could discover stuff about, you know, the past, your home. You could discover stuff about yourself, your mum. There could be family that you've not heard from come in. Some of you may decide you want to do like a voyage, go back to like your home that you used to live in when you were younger. Or your thoughts can just be going back to, you know, just definitely when you were younger as well. Any like your siblings as well, you know, all of these types of things. But also when it comes to like your 5th house, you know, the 5th house is going to be playing a huge part in this, going back to creative project. If you work, if you have kids as well, like doing something fun with your children, or even thoughts can be going back to, you know, being creative. And, you know, again, you guys may decide that you want to looking at about having a family. You know, these thoughts can definitely come up. You know, it might be rehashing that conversation. Some of you may decide you don't want a family, but now it's like, you know what, maybe. You know, some of you may even want to work with kids as well, like a teacher, or, you know, or even looking back on how you were as a kid, how you had so much fun, because, you know, you've got Saturn in your 1st, and it might be restricting you in some way. Could be restricting your fun in some way. But regardless, you know, it's going back to like the past, in what you used to do, how you used to enjoy yourself, how you used to have fun, is really great for this. And again, there might be an ex-lover that could come back, someone you used to have fun with, not like a big relationship, but someone you used to have fun with, old project, a creative project, or old business contract that actually came up as well. Some of you guys maybe even decided you want to go back to an old fitness regime, or even how you used to dress. But looking back how you used to have fun, you know, because childhood is coming up a lot for you, Aquarians. The card you air signs have is parenting. Oh my God. So parenting, for me, it feels like, you know, you could be parenting yourself. Your parents can play a huge part. They could be, you know, like, again, like I said, some of you, again, like with Aquarius, working with children. Children could play a huge part in this as well. But also parenting, like really taking care of yourself. And, you know, this card is about, you know, raising your vibrations and having attention to like the love. If some of you are parents, is like really paying attention to like the love you have for your children, also the love that you have for yourself as well. Because like I said, I feel that children's going to play a huge part for a lot of you air signs. And some of you may even just go back to that sort of like childhood way, like of fun, and, you know, being a bit more free. I feel that a lot of, again, the past will come back of how you guys were as children. And this is going to play like some of you are going to be seeing things very differently now. And it's actually really a good thing, because I feel air signs, you guys are not very sentimental. But this may feel a very sentimental time for a lot of you during this retrograde in Gemini and Taurus. So guys, that was the Gemini in Taurus, in Gemini and Taurus for you guys, the general, and the messages for the signs with the cards. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And let me know how this Mercury retrograde has gone for you. You know, has it benefited you somehow? Have you learned anything? Because this Mercury retrograde is very much about learning, guys, and seeing where, you know, things are really stuck within us, how we can sort of navigate to move forward. Because, you know, as we know, the world is definitely changing. And, you know, how we change with it, it might be a struggle, but it also can be very fulfilling for a lot of us. So yeah, we're going to be I feel a lot of us are definitely have to be looking at ways and our mind thoughts very differently. And one more thing I like to say before I go is that, you know, really doing lots of like breath work, really, you know, trying to ground yourself in some way, really, you know, doing like a fitness workout, whether you're working out with people. But I do feel like lots of breathing, lots of like deep meditation is really going to help during this Mercury retrograde, especially when it goes into Gemini first. And looking at your surroundings, really listening to what's been going on, really listening to people, because we can forget the information that's going to be coming, rechecking things, re-looking over things, being mindful of how we're traveling, and be mindful of what we say, how we're communicating, because this can lead to arguments that we may need to rehash. And also with Taurus, you know, really looking at, again, like our finances in some way, what we're eating, but also taking care of ourselves. Self-care, body brushing, Epsom salt baths, using essential oils like lavender and jasmine and ylang ylang. That helps us to connect to our emotions, and it also helps us to keep grounded. But also, you know, keeping grounded is going to be one of the main themes for a lot of us, and know what to keep and know what to let go of is going to be the main themes when this comes up. So guys, once again, thank you very much for listening, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.